Well, good morning, Facebook. The sun's coming up in downtown Orlando right now, and I'm leaving my condo complex downtown to go buy myself some milk at the local Walgreens with my wallet. I've got money. I'm gonna get what I need. But I'm on a mission to do something today that's a little different than journalistically I've ever done. And that is to document something that I see every day. I live right downtown, right in downtown Orlando, and it's, I don't know, 6:45 in the morning here. And one of the things that I see every single day is homelessness. And I found, anybody who's following me on Facebook and such knows that I found a woman who was horribly burned when she was 4 months old. 4 months old, mind you. She has no legs. She has one hand. One of her ears is burned off, her nose is burned off. She's lost all of her hair. She's embarrassed to even take off her hat. She doesn't have a place to live. Last night, she and a friend who takes care of her spent the night at a hotel like they do many nights. But tonight, it's getting cold. Orlando cold, okay. It's only down in the 40s tonight, probably. But it's cold enough that you don't want to stay on the streets. They're waking up this morning. They're moving out of the hotel they're in. They have nowhere to go tonight. Don't know what they're going to do. I'm going to follow them through that process. I'm going to make a story out of it, not because I think it's a good story, but because I think that there's a way to demonstrate the little ways to help. And I'm not even sure what those ways are yet. But there are little ways to help people who live out on the streets like these. And we see them here in Orlando all the time. Everybody sees them. And I'm gonna see if I can figure out a way, at least for one day, just to help these two people. Just two people. There are thousands of them out here. But hopefully I can help two people and help them figure out a way to get to tomorrow in a better way than they got to today. It's my only goal. So I'm gonna go get some milk. I'm gonna make myself a latte with the wallet I have in my pocket. Then I'm gonna go find these folks, and I'm gonna try and document as much of this as I can for you throughout the day, and try and do a story for local television like I haven't done it before. So that's my goal today, is to help these two people. So if you don't know what my videos are all about, you can back up on my timeline today to see what I'm doing. I'm basically going on an excursion whereby I'm going to document a day of a homeless woman and her friend who helps her out. He's homeless as well. She's disabled, in a wheelchair, burned at the age of 4 months. But go back in my timeline, check it out if you want to know more about what I'm doing. But I wanted to start it, I guess, by showing the way my day normally starts. I'm sitting at a restaurant where I often come down and get breakfast. I love this little place. I get an omelet, I go to work, I'm able to pay for what I have. But today, these folks are not able to do that, and they don't know where they're going to stay tonight. So just to explain a little bit more, I'm kind of in the beginning, I guess, juxtaposing what I do each day with the way that their day is going to start. So I'm going to meet up at the station in just a little while with Josh Salazar, my videographer. He's going to start documenting basically whatever we do. I guess they're going to move out of their hotel today. It's going to get cold tonight in Orlando, and I'm going to see how they go about their day. I guess they're going to take a bus to a place that they know that's a good place to panhandle. They're going to hope that some people are going to give them some money, and I know that they only will be taking along with them whatever they can fit in a backpack on the back of Melody's wheelchair. The rest of their belongings are in garbage bags somewhere in hiding in the woods somewhere. So I'm also going to take them to see where their belongings are. Their clothes aren't washed or anything, so maybe I'll figure out how to get them to a laundromat today and wash the clothes that they have, and then figure out maybe a better way to store their belongings. It's a good start, and then it's going to be working on a place for them to stay tonight. I am going to eat my breakfast here in a warm restaurant and start my day very differently than they're starting their day. So it's a little heartbreaking. I've gotten to know Melody and Orlando, not the city, but the man Orlando, pretty well over the last couple of weeks. And you're gonna get to know them too. And my omelet's here. So I'm gonna eat my breakfast. I'm gonna go meet up with them and see what their day's like in a world where they basically have nothing and I have what I need to get by. So I'll be documenting it throughout the day. If you care to follow along, please do. If you care to share this on Facebook, please do. But like I said in my earlier video, I'm just doing something different here. I'm trying to figure out a way to help them have a better day tomorrow than they're gonna have today or than they had yesterday. And if I can figure that out, then maybe there's a solution here. I don't know. We'll, I guess, find out together. Hi again, Facebook. Okay, the day begins, and I want to start in a place where, in a way, this story started. My friend up in Wisconsin, Joe Hanks, posted on Facebook that he'd love to hear some backstory, and I don't know all the backstory about Melody and Orlando, but I am going to try and find out how Melody ended up on the streets. Totally disabled. Can't walk. She doesn't have legs. She had them amputated. She was burned horribly in a fire at 4 months old. But at about the age of 29, she met Orlando, and I'm going to bring you right now to the place where they met and tell you how it happened. This is an area of Orlando at the Salvation Army where a lot of homeless folks come. They hang out down here because they can get free meals and things like that. One day, 2 years ago, along this street right here, Melody was in her wheelchair, but her wheelchair was stuck in a storm grate. You know, in the slots, the wheel had gotten stuck in that storm drain right here along Colonial Drive. It's a very busy street on any given time of the day. Orlando saw her. He's a homeless man too. He was headed to the homeless shelter, which is, you know, a few blocks from here. And along this street, he pulled her out of that storm grate and helped her get into a little inlet where there was a door. So he parked her in a doorway and talked to her and said, "Why don't you come with me to the shelter? I'm headed down to the homeless shelter." She said, "I'm afraid of that place." And as able-bodied people that are not homeless, we know that sometimes other people on the streets can be frightening. Well, to her, "Hello, how are you? How are you?" It can be frightening. Melody is horribly afraid of the entire world. She didn't want to go to that homeless shelter because she's afraid to go there. She doesn't like it there. It scares her. So Orlando decided that he was going to stay there in that doorway with her for the night because he didn't want to leave her there alone. She had no one at all at that point. So Orlando and Melody decided together that they were going to sit in a little doorway. Who knows, this might be the doorway. I'm not sure exactly. I'll try and bring Orlando down here and show me exactly where this started. But he made a commitment at that point that he was not going to leave Melody alone again and didn't ever want her to be alone. For 2 years now, he's kept that commitment. And the two of them have fought through homelessness as much as they can. They stay in a hotel on nights when they can afford it. If they can't, they really have nowhere to go. This is one of those nights so far. They have nowhere to go tonight. I'm going to their hotel in about 45 minutes. You're gonna meet Melody and Orlando, who met in a little doorway just like this and got to know each other a little bit. And now they're kind of best friends, and we'll explore their story today. And I'm gonna do it here on Facebook because I get a very little time to tell stories on TV And this is a story that I can't do in 2 minutes. I'll try one of these days. It will air on Channel 9. But today, I'm just letting you see the whole day with me. So 45 minutes from now, I'll introduce you to Melody and Orlando. Okay, here we are at a Days Inn hotel on iDrive, and we're gonna go inside and meet Melody and Orlando. They are in room 171 here, and they have to check out today because the prices down here go way up, and they can't afford to stay here tonight because it's a weekend. And so 171 is where they say they are, and we'll see. About to meet Orlando and Melody, two very nice people. There he is.
Hey.
Orlando, how are you?
Good morning.
Good to see you.
What's up, Orlando?
Good to see you. You remember Josh? Hi, Melody.
Hey, Melody.
How are you?
How are you?
Doing good.
Good. Let me give you a hug.
I was real surprised. I usually sleep with 2 pillows under my head. I wake up, my back's killing me.
You do? Can I turn the TV down real quick? Say hi. Say hi to some of my friends.
Hi,
There.
Josh.
Hi. How are you, Melody?
Good.
Doing all right? Give you a hug
Okay.
here. Oh, sorry.
So, can I turn the volume down here and sit down? Talk to Melody. How do you like your coat? I got Melody a coat the other day at Walmart, and how's it been?
That, I don't know. I've been wearing it. I'm sweating.
Oh, well,
How's it
good.
quite
Today
that
you're gonna
cold?
need this.
Yeah, it's
You're
cool
gonna
out
need
there.
this.
Yeah, I'm going to because that's wet. And
So you guys have
it's
to.
still raining out there a little bit.
Yeah, it is raining a little bit. It's a little bit cold out there. So do you guys have to check out this morning, 11 o'clock?
Yep.
All right. And then where do you think? Any idea where you're gonna stay?
Tonight, not yet.
How much? If you don't mind me asking, I don't want to pry. How much money do you have right now?
Like $50.
$50 you have right now
We're
on.
gonna when we get our deposit back.
Oh, you'll have $50. You get a deposit back on this room, and that'll be $50.
Yeah.
And will they give that to you in cash?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna take you through the whole day. Facebook. I know you're watching this now, but we're gonna go through the whole day, and we're just gonna see how this all ends up, and see maybe how we can help you guys. So in the bright light of day, we are going to get on a bus. This is how we're traveling. Josh is documenting everything we do here. So it's time to go. Hey, I'm gonna pop for the fare.
You got it?
Yep. Obviously, here, meet Melody in the.
See how this.
So I'm gonna hop on with him. Josh is not going to, but I am going to go riding with him, and I'll see you in just a little bit. We're getting Melody there in place. Say hi, Melody.
Hi.
But all right, again, Facebook. We're now on a Lynx City bus leaving iDrive, and I'll let you meet in the broad daylight. This is Orlando, and Orlando is Melody's friend. I'm gonna come over here with Melody. This is Melody, and where are we going today, Melody?
The Lynx Central Station.
We're going to Lynx Central Station downtown, and they're gonna find a place that they know, and they're gonna panhandle today, and they're gonna try and find a place to stay tonight. You don't know where.
Not right offhand, no.
How hard is it to live this life? I mean, I don't want to pry.
Well, if it's a hotel that's more than one flooring, it would be difficult if there's no rooms on the bottom of the floor available unless there's an elevator. I
Okay.
wouldn't be able to get to the room.
Bus is a little bit shaky, and I'm not necessarily sitting. Sorry, I'm leaning in on you there, Mel. Anyway, Melody, as I've told you all day, you were burned in a fire at 4 months old.
4.5.
Four and a half months old. August of 1985. your babysitter's house caught on fire, correct?
That's what I was told, yes.
Yeah, the babysitter's house caught on fire, and she ended up in intensive care for the next year of her life. Just a couple of years ago, she had to have her legs amputated. That's why she's in a wheelchair. And now she essentially is homeless and sort of hops from hotel to hotel with Orlando over here. And they ride buses to get around. So I'm going to document the day with them here and see how I can help, and maybe see if I can figure out how Melody's fallen through the cracks quite a bit, and see if there's just some way, little way that I, or maybe we, can help just a couple of people today. Start with today, and we'll just move on from there. I guess that's what you do every day, right?
Yes.
One day at a time. All right, my battery's about to die, so I'm gonna put it on the charger after we get off the bus. I wanted to ride with them on the bus because that's how they regularly ride, but from here, once we get downtown, I'm actually gonna hop in my pickup truck and load Melody up in my truck into her wheelchair, and I'm gonna take them where they need to go today. It's sort of my one little thing, or at least one little thing that I can do for them today. But I at least as a journalist wanted to ride on the bus with them so that we could see what their life is like in reality. But from here, we're gonna hop in my pickup truck. Josh is right behind me with the camera, and we're gonna document the rest of the day right here on Facebook and also on Channel 9 when we put the story together about Melody. Say bye, Melody.
Right.
Let's go. All right, so we got in the car. We're in the truck now. No more bus for today, right? We're gonna make our way. We're gonna go to the television station right now because we have to get Josh's camera, and then Josh is gonna follow us wherever we go for at least part of the day because Josh has to work his regular shift. I'm hoping my camera's not gonna fall over and my phone's not gonna fall over as we drive here. Mel, listen, we were talking earlier about, or at least I was talking earlier on Facebook about how you and Orlando met. What are your recollections of that story? You got a pretty good memory, but you forget sometimes. Not the best memory all the time.
I think it was just, I was mainly sitting around the street downtown, and we just ran into each other.
You were staying at the Howard Vernon. You were wheeling out of 7-Eleven, and your wheel got stuck in the drain, the water drain thing there. And as I walked by you, I said, can I help you? You know, and you're like, yeah, my wheel's stuck. I let you out. I got you out and rolling, and you said, I'm staying right across the street at the Howard Vernon. I said, well, I can wheel you over there. And because I'd seen her before during the summer wheeling across the street. She caught my eye immediately.
You had been on the streets for a long time at this point, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and her payee, when it gets cold or winter or raining or whatever, would put her up in a hotel room.
Okay.
Instead of getting her a place to live and get her off the street.
Mm-hmm.
Because
So-
all they think about doing is putting these people in, you know, somewhere where they can be, you know, they have no life. You got to come check in and start telling you this, instead of getting the person their own place, you know. They've got to deal with homelessness anyway. That's the government's job, not to say that it's okay to go out and be homeless, but some of these people have been through a lot, you know.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I wouldn't say that it's the government's job, but certainly we can do a better job of helping people sort of help themselves. In your case, though, Melody, there's not much you can do. You know, you're not going to get a job, you know, doing something like a regular person would do.
I've tried to get a job, and a lot of places are saying, the managers are saying I would scare off their business.
Oh, jeez. I'm sorry about that.
Well, as soon as I get Melody and I a place to live,
Phone fell there, folks.
we're going to work on getting her work. We're going to start a fundraiser. We're going to start a charity foundation. That's what our goal is.
Okay.
I was thinking about talking to my case manager, because there was a business I worked at over when I was in Volusia County called ACT, and they would pay you by the amount you did.
Yeah.
And they would do that for like mentally and physically disabled.
But Melody, you have seizures, correct? So
Yes.
that's another condition that is troubling for you. Tell me about the seizures.
I can never tell when they're gonna happen. And whenever I come out of them, I don't even know I have it unless someone tells me.
Now, I saw you have a seizure the other night. You don't remember it because you were having a seizure, but you almost
Very
fell out of
mild.
your wheelchair.
Yeah, it was very mild. She came out of that real quick.
Yeah, and Orlando kept you from falling out of your wheelchair at that point, and you woke up and you seemed disoriented. Do you sort of wake up from those seizures and not know where you are or what has happened
I don't even know who I am a lot of times.
after your seizures?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you know? What? Let me ask you this: when was the last time you got to see a doctor or a dentist?
That's a good question.
I mean, can you remember your last doctor's visit?
Probably the emergency room, you know, when we go in
ER?
at night, yeah.
Yeah, and that was like almost,
Not long, a couple months ago.
well, 2.5, 3 months.
But she had a primary care doctor on Michigan, but
And a
I
lot
don't
of the
think
dentists,
I don't think he's there anymore.
a lot of the
You need
dentists
to. You
are-
need a dentist, don't you?
Yeah, and a lot of them are saying they can't take me because they don't accept my insurance.
Hmm.
Now I want to get back to when we met. When I told
Okay.
her how we're burning,
Yep.
I was staying at the Coalition,
Okay.
and Melody goes, I go, Melody, I got to get going because I got 30 minutes to get back or they're going to throw me out. And she says,
So
don't leave me here by myself, you know, please. And I'm like, what do you mean leave you here alone? Nobody's with you? Nobody's helping you? Nobody's taking care of you? She's in this little rundown hotel on Colonial, all by herself. And from then on, I just sort of said, well, you know, why don't you come over to me and I'll see if I can get you in the Coalition. We went over there. They wouldn't let her in. And they wouldn't let me stay out long enough to figure out what to do with this girl. That's what I'm saying. They take over your life, and with all these crazy rules and stuff that everybody's got to follow, like we're computers or something. I mean, I hate to say we, but
Yeah.
I left that night. I grabbed some blankets and bam, I've been with Melody ever since.
And that was 2 years ago. So you.
About 2 years ago, yeah. Right around
Okay.
right around October, I think it was. November, October is when we met.
All right, we're gonna stop this video now because we're about to get to the TV station and we're gonna move some trucks around. I'm gonna let them take a look at the TV station and then we'll be back with you in a little while as we get them where they're headed for the day.
Okay.
Okay, so now we are leaving Channel 9, leaving the television station. And folks, I broke my holder for my phone, so if it falls sideways, please forgive me. But I wanted to talk to you guys about a couple of things. You obviously have tried to go through the systems that exist through, you know, community organizations, churches, the government, and things like that to get help.
Yes.
Melody, why do you think you're not able to get as much help and get yourself to a stable place to live where you're there every night and you got a home and you got a dresser where you can just put your clothing inside of it?
A lot of people are just telling me it's because they're not able to have wheelchairs there because they're not wheelchair accessible.
But do you know how to go through the process? Have you tried, or is it just a frustrating process that you don't understand, in other words?
Well, it kind of has to be like a medically trained facility also because of my seizures and stuff.
Yeah. And what happens when you try to, or do you want to be in a facility like that, or do you want more freedom?
Oh,
I guess my question is, what do you want right now?
I would feel a lot better if I was out like I am now, like with friends and stuff.
Free to go to karaoke night if
Yeah.
you wanted to.
Yeah.
Which is where we met, by the way. We met at karaoke one night. My man Orlando back here was singing some Doors. I believe that's what you were singing, either that or Rush, maybe. Melody was not singing. You don't sing?
I do. It's just I didn't feel like doing it that night.
Well, I want to hear you sing. We'll go to karaoke another night sometime. And
'Cause-
I want to hear you sing.
I only know one song where I can keep up with it because I already know the words to it, and that thing goes so fast I can't keep up with the words.
What song is that?
Don't Take the Girl from Tim McGraw.
Don't Take the Girl is a great song. I think that's my favorite Tim McGraw song. Well, no, Indian Outlaw is probably my favorite Tim McGraw song. But Don't Take the Girl is a very cool song.
Yeah, I cried on that one a few times. When she first started playing it at Arena.
You told me something about Orlando. You said you didn't really know men cry and you haven't seen men cry much, but he's cried over you.
Yeah.
Yeah?
And a lot of times when I would first see people crying, like guys or whatever, I always thought they were just doing it to make me think that girls don't just do it. It's just guys do it too. I didn't know they were actually really doing it.
What was he
I thought they were
crying
faking
about?
it. I don't even remember.
Orlando,
I think
what
it
were
was
you
something
crying
he was
about?
talking about.
What made you cry about Melody?
When I first met Melody, just how bad she had it, how distant she was, you know. Nobody, no family, no friends. Everybody on the street was getting everything they could out of her. And I finally got her away from downtown, but through the first year, when her and I wouldn't get along or she had problems, she would, you know, get on a bus and go back downtown. I'd go back a couple of weeks later, Melody's like, where did you, where have you been? Like, she had no idea, you know, what had happened. A lot of times she doesn't remember places. We've been to a lot of places.
Yeah.
And she doesn't remember, you know, going out and doing this and doing that.
Melody, you seem sometimes to have such a great memory. I mean, you can remember everything about
Yeah.
your childhood, but then it's almost like your short-term memory maybe doesn't
Yeah, that's how it is.
serve you quite right sometimes.
That's how it
I
is
think.
with me, because if something important happens to me like the day before, I'll forget it the next day, but it'll come back to me later on down the road.
Do you think being burned at such a young age,
I think
that
it was from the smoke inhalation from the fire.
you think that you, in other words, you had some brain injury that went along with being burned?
Yes, because I was in slow learning classes also while I was going through school. So I
Because
had to
you spent,
I had to see people doing something or understand it.
well, I mean, I'm no doctor, but I would assume that if your body is spending the first year of its life trying to recover from 80% of your body being burned, then your body doesn't have a lot of energy to put into brain development. But you're remarkably alert, and I'm amazed at some of the things that you tell me about your childhood sometimes, because it seems odd, because then other times you forget other things completely.
Yeah.
So, anyway, but back to you, Orlando. Tell me more about what life was like for her before you met. At the time you met, she was in a very bad place, in other words.
The way I saw it, she was completely abandoned, and it took me about 6 months to almost 3/4 of a year to realize that it just dawned on me that I think she was in shock from after having her legs taken off. She's home, you know, she just had the operation. She's out on the street, she can't find her family, and she has no friends, you know what I'm saying? None that she can trust. I can't imagine the turmoil she was going through in her head day to day to day before I got to her.
How long after you had your legs amputated did you meet Orlando?
About a year.
Probably about a year and a half.
Year and a half, something like that.
And so,
After my
We're kind of
amputation
losing
surgery.
track of time, so, you know.
yeah,
We're still like, what is it, 2 years, 3 years? I know we've known each other 2 years.
yeah.
But I don't know exactly when. She's kind of lost track of time as far as when she actually had the operation. She thinks her son's 1 still, but since I've been with her, It's been 2 years. So her son is definitely 2 years, maybe 2.5, 3. I don't know. She said he's born in June.
Did you have your son before you had the amputation?
Yes. He was born in June of
So right before your legs were amputated, you
2015.
had your son. Okay. And while your story, what you told me was correct. While you were in the hospital having your legs amputated, your son was put up for adoption by the state.
No, the lady I was staying with
Well,
that took me off the street, she put him up for adoption without even asking me.
okay. See, I'm gonna see kind of how that happened, because it doesn't make sense to me. So I'll try and investigate how exactly that happened. Was she like, did she have power of attorney? Did she have the right to make decisions for you?
I don't remember any of that.
I'm going to take a wild guess, Steve, and Melody was probably heavily medicated and probably signed her son away and doesn't know it. I'm going to take a wild guess. I don't know the facts.
All right.
Now, he was born, where at, Melody? Arnold Palmer?
Yes, at Arnold Palmer,
A couple
here
of
in
years
Florida,
ago.
right off.
I haven't had a
and
chance
I
to
believe
go in
it was
there
2015.
her medical, I'd like to get her primary care doctor, get all her medical records together, get her dental work, and this is all people, but I've been struggling to get us a place to live.
Yeah.
Where we can get things done. And I can't exactly go out and work a full-time job and take care of both of us.
Yeah.
Get her
And you can't very well wander around with a bunch of paperwork and get paperwork done.
Yeah.
At any given time.
Yeah.
As you guys can see,
Step by
this is a
step.
very, very complex situation.
Mhm.
And I think this is probably repeated in homelessness over and over and over again. So the answer is not simple at all. It's not just, hey, find them a place to live. There
Exactly,
are a lot of other issues.
Because when somebody's ready to help, the person that needs help isn't always ready. When the person is ready to help, there's nobody to help. You see what I'm saying? And that
Yeah.
goes back and forth until something works out. That's
Okay.
the way it's seen. That's what we're going through.
Well, I just, for a moment, out on Facebook, I just want to say thanks to everybody who is watching this and trying to understand what's going on here. I'm sort of on the earlier stages of trying to sort out what's happening with Melody's life and, of course, Orlando's. Orlando's life's now been consumed, in a way, by, not as an insult, by your life, because he's helping you, and you don't want to lose him.
And that's
You-
another thing.
You feel, I mean, the last 2 years have been a lot better than the years
Yes.
before this last 2 years, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And
And it is getting, I mean, is it getting kind of better day by day? A little bit?
Incredible.
Oh, you are incredible.
She's recovering.
I can't-
Like she's able to carry on a conversation to a degree. You know, her mind keeps going back to things that hurt, like losing my family, losing my kids. And I keep telling Melly, look, you got to put that on the side right now and get yourself together, or you're never going to be able to get your kids and be able to take care of them. You got to have an income. You got to have a place to live. You got to have somebody there to help you with these kids.
Right.
Or that you're not going to be able to do it.
I love the look on your face. You have such a great attitude. I'm telling you, Melody,
Yeah, well, that's
you
what I'm
are
saying.
so
It's
sweet.
gotten better.
And that's the thing that when I first met you, I thought, my God, what a wonderful human being you are. So I just want you to know that. All right, we're gonna stop this video a little bit. We are on our way now to a place that they regularly panhandle, which is essentially how right now, the only way they're able to make their living. Orlando's hoping to get back to work, but it's a little difficult because with Melody having seizures so much and needing so much care, and there's nobody else to care for her right now, it makes his whole situation that much more difficult. So we're going to get into more of this, and I appreciate everybody paying attention today. I kind of had this idea off the cuff last night to just, as I shot a story, to document the documenting. So we're going to go from there. Talk to you soon. So as we're driving to the place where they're going to panhandle, you're making phone calls. A lot of people say, oh, I always hear this about homelessness. Oh, they have a phone. Why can't they find a place? Well, that's actually how he is able to find different hotels and find a rate each day that they can afford and find their way around town. So him having a cell phone and paying for a cell phone, which he does do, is, you know, part of the way that he survives and tries to get to the next step. So you just had a conversation with
Home Sweet Home.
Home Sweet Home in Orlando, and you, what did they say? What is their deal?
$291 a week,
Okay.
$100 security deposit.
So that would mean you'd have to come up with $491 just to get you through the first week.
Wait a minute.
No, I
Was
think
it $390?
yeah.
No, I think it was
It's
$291.
$390, yeah.
$291 plus $100, so $391. So you'd have to come up with $400.
Right.
How feasible is that right now, as we drive?
And to get an apartment, you usually have to come up with first, last, and security, which is what?
Yep.
Way over $1,000.
Right.
$1,500 possibly.
So you're spending pretty much everything that you make any given day
Mhm.
getting to the next day right now.
Sometimes 2 or 3 days to make that kind of money. We don't make $400 a day, and there's times where we work 5 hours and make $20 if we're lucky.
I know, and interestingly, I pointed this out to you earlier. You refer to it as working.
Right. We get up and we go. We have to get up and we have to go, or we don't eat. We don't have nothing.
Okay, but would you rather be getting up and going to an actual employment situation?
Well, I'm going to put it to you like, as I've been telling Melody. I'm 47 years old. I've worked in Florida for years,
Mhm.
and it's a dead end. The highest paying job I had was working at an HIV clinic. The guy that owned the place in Fort Lauderdale took me in because I'm certified in hypnosis, and I was going to we were going to put together a hypnosis plan. That was like $13 or $14 an hour. I don't think I've made over that. In the restaurant business, in retail, in sales I made 25%. I could make $300 or $400 in a week, but then it's not consistent. You never know what you're going to make. So this is the problem I've had taking care of myself.
Uh-huh. And right now, how difficult is it
I
to...
couldn't get a car. I couldn't get a place. I never made enough money
Mhm.
without
How
not
long-
being a professional.
For you, Orlando, when's the last time that you actually had a stable home, an apartment, or...
Well, we just had a place at the Grand for 5 months, but I was laying linoleum tile in those rooms. When I got the job, the lady at the office said, "I'm going to try to get you room and board,
Right.
and get paid."
So what he's talking about is he was actually staying at a hotel and doing a trade where he worked and helped refurbish the rooms for free money. So
They were using the money they paid him for our rent.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So you would work, they would take that paycheck and apply it to your rent.
And I didn't get enough work to
to have any more.
really cover to have more than the rent.
So you're caught in this constant cycle of...
And the lady that
And so
ran the
each day
place-
you're kind of forced to get up and go do the only way you can think of to get immediate right now money.
Right, so
is to
I
go
didn't
and
work
stand
because
with
I
your
had
side.
to go out. I didn't work every day full time because I had to go out and panhandle 5 or 6 hours to get cash in our pockets. And like I said, sometimes you just get like $20, 30. It's slowed down in the past couple of months. I mean, it's almost Christmas. People aren't throwing money out like that.
Okay. All right, but the bottom line is for tonight, coming up with $391 to get you into that hotel for a week is not
Feasible.
not
Well,
feasible.
I don't think
so.
that's
You
right.
you again today have to think of
Getting
tonight.
Getting a room
Because
for
it's
the night.
cold, there's no way you can stay out, and you don't want to stay out. I mean, tell me this. Staying out for the night, when you guys would stay actually out on the streets overnight, is that, I mean, I guess I can't imagine doing it. I've never had to do it. Is it frightening? Especially for you, Mel?
Sure it
I mean,
is.
are you scared
She's
when
scared
you
to
don't
stay
have
in
a...
the woods.
You're scared to stay in the woods.
Yeah.
But you keep your stuff. Tell me where your stuff is. You have some stuff
At the
other
Grand
than your
Resort,
backpack.
yeah, at the Grand Resort, we took all our clothes and what we had, and they're in 2 bags, and I hid them around the side of the building behind this big giant glass thing, and they've been there for about 4 or 5 days, maybe 6 days.
So all your stuff, you just put it there in the hopes that nobody's going to find it and steal it.
Exactly, and
And that's everything you own.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
And
All right. Well, we're going to work on this more and try and sort out what happens today, what happens tonight. We're still at a point where they don't have any place to go tonight. So, okay, there's the Walmart you were at the other day. We're going up to the Sam's Club,
yeah.
right?
Oh wow, look how busy
right.
it is. That's a good spot right there. Nobody's panhandling. If we get run out from here, we'll go to a place like that. That's how we work.
So you want to go to Sam's Club or do you want to go back here?
I think Sam's Club.
Okay.
Because it being Saturday and early, we should do good right here. And people throw out higher money over here. You know, 10, 20 bucks a pop sometimes.
Okay. All right. So hello again, Facebook. We're sort of midway through this day of hanging out with Melody and Orlando, two homeless people, trying to figure out where they're going to stay tonight. You can see Josh back there. He's got the camera. We're staying at a distance. They're over there at the corner, and I'll walk down there. But they're basically, they found a place near a Sam's Club where they're panhandling, and it's actually kind of a calculated thing, the place that you stay, and there's competition, I'm told, as homeless people kind of jockey for position, especially this time of year. They know where people are going to shop and so on and so forth. But I'm just going to walk down here real quick, visit with them, and I want to show you something around the corner, because right now, I think Josh said they've made, I don't know, 30 bucks maybe, and they need to find a place to stay for tonight, enough money just to get in out of the cold tonight. You can see, there they are, sort of bundled up. There are some people that are helping, and they can chat and have their conversations. Hey guys, I'm going over here to show them the field you were telling me about earlier. That field that I'm talking about is the, if all else fails and they have nothing else to do, they know that near this spot, they know their spots well enough that they know that near this spot, if they go right over there by that, there's a Wendy's there, and right next to the Wendy's there's a field, and behind that field there's a decent woods area to sleep in the woods, and they've done that. They really can't do that tonight because it's gonna get down into the 30s, so it's much too cold. Everything that they have is basically on a backpack that they keep with them at this moment. They have some other stuff, as we talked to them about earlier, that they keep in bags, and they hide it somewhere in the woods. At some point I'm gonna see if I can get them to show me where they keep their belongings. They just hide it in a special spot in the woods so nobody finds it and steals it. But at this point, gosh, we're now probably 3.5, 4 hours from sunset. They still don't know where they're gonna stay. They don't have enough money to stay anywhere yet. And I'm sort of still following them through this process. But you know, it's an interesting thing when you're dealing with Melody, because she's such a sweetheart, having been burned 80% of her body at the age of 4 months when her babysitter's house caught on fire up in Michigan. But she's such a sweetheart that the other day I was doing this with them. I was just hanging out, watching them do what they do. She had to go into a Walmart and go to the bathroom. Someone had brought them sandwiches in a Walmart bag and given them the sandwiches. And before Melody went inside the Walmart, she said, "Steve, will you hold this bag for me while I go inside the Walmart, because I don't have a receipt for these sandwiches and I don't want anyone to think that I stole the sandwiches." So that's the kind of kind heart and honesty that Melody has. I'm just really hoping that I can find some way to help her, not just tonight, but on a permanent basis. Still grappling with exactly how that is going to be, but maybe I'll be able to find some community service that'll be able to help her out. I'm gonna keep trying.
Anytime.
This part of my hand right here.
Hold on,
Oh, sorry.
this is probably segment 10, I don't know. We've just left the area where you guys were panhandling. It's about to rain and it's getting really cold. Your hand was super cold earlier. Oh my God, it still is.
Okay,
But you were telling
behind that Edwin Watts. See how it's closed?
Yeah.
There's a bunch of sofas stacked up on top of each other. I had to set her down there last Saturday so she could get some sleep.
So she slept on a sofa back by the dumpsters
Yep.
back there?
Yep, right behind there.
Okay,
And
so
I could get her somewhere
we're
else.
on our way to see if there's a hotel that we can get them into, preferably for more than one night, so they can actually have their stuff with them. One of my Facebook friends, a friend of mine, not just a Facebook friend, she's a friend, who doesn't want to be named, told me that she would put up half the money to get this week's hotel, to get them started on a better path. So I want to take her up on it, and we're gonna go to that hotel right now and see if they have a room. They didn't think that they did, but they said one might be opening up because someone was gonna move out.
I can call
So we're
her
gonna
right
go. We're gonna go try it. Yeah, we're gonna call. But first, you were telling me about some of your surgeries. One of the surgeries you had to stay awake for. Tell me.
Yeah, because they needed my eyes open.
Okay.
They had to dislocate my left eyeball to straighten it out more.
Because it was going in the wrong direction.
Without my glasses, you see it goes in towards my nose a little bit.
Right.
If I cover this one, my right eye with my hand, it'll just straighten out.
You've
I
had a
won't be
lot
able
of
to see.
surgeries, haven't you?
Yes.
All the beginning of her life.
When I was 19 years old, I had to have an emergency C-section done.
Yeah.
And when they did that, they had got me closed from the C-section, I had a seizure and lost 70% of my blood.
So you almost died then.
So I had to have a blood transfusion.
She's a miracle.
And the thumb area on my left hand,
Yeah, I talked to
The
a lady
condition
this
is
morning.
the
She
condition
said you guys
is-
might have
and
a room
now,
available
Yeah.
in the past, it was a
little
lot
bit for
shorter.
2 people.
they had to put a pin
For
on
a
each
week?
end of my
For-
bone on
for
my
a
left
week?
hand.
I'm right up the street from
And my
them.
mom
It's
had to
center
take a
on
little
right
wrench
now,
and turn a bolt on the end of it 3 times a day to stretch my bone out.
Yeah.
Wide awake, no medication or nothing.
Okay, cool.
Really? Painful.
Yes. And one
Okay, is
time,
it downstairs? 'Cause
when
I
they
could go
did skin
with me
grafting
in a
on me,
wheelchair.
they had to put staples down the middle of my back.
Okay,
And they put me
we'll
to
be there in
sleep
a
to take
minute.
them out, and my mom said I
Thank
was
you,
still
bye.
screaming.
All right, he said something's coming right up.
Okay.
Come wait in the lobby.
So if
Got
we
you
go,
coming up.
if we go to Home Sweet Home right now,
You need
we'll
the
get
address?
a room. I know exactly where it is. I've
All
been
right.
there before. And then after Home Sweet Home, just to keep you updated on Facebook, and I can't appreciate more the people that are commenting and watching and just
So
letting
the-
this
the
day
article's
soak
good, so
in.
the story's good. It's getting a lot of attention, right?
Yeah, it's,
My friends are
it's-
deadbeats on mine. I've got 2 or 3 people that are very interested. Everybody else is like, won't even share the GoFundMe. You know what I'm saying?
he's got a Facebook account, and he's been posting some stuff too. So if you look up Orlando Carlo, you'll find him. But I want to tell you guys, here's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna go get your room, right? And then all that stuff that you have hidden away in bags, all your other clothes that are dirty,
Right.
we're gonna go pick those up. We're putting them in my pickup truck. We're gonna take them to a car or to a Suds and
Laundromat.
Duds or whatever you call it. Yeah, laundromat
Thornton Park.
in Thornton Park, and we're gonna wash all that stuff, and then we're gonna take it back over to Home Sweet Home for you. So for the next week, you have all your stuff in one place where you don't have to leave for at least a week. So I think at least we've had a good day accomplishing, and I really appreciate the generous kindness of one of my friends who told me that I can't mention her name, so I won't, and I can understand why. But we're gonna go do this, and we'll keep you posted. We're gonna take you and show you where they've been keeping all their possessions in bags in the woods, and we're gonna get that stuff and get it to a hotel so they can start sorting through it to just kind of get, at least for a week, their life back in order a little bit. Okay, we're having a conversation that kind of sheds light on why, you know, some people might sit there and go, okay, well, wait a second, you've got a hotel for the night. Fine, stay in your hotel. You've got a roof over your head, right? Well, that is true. You got a roof over your head. You're at least warm. At least tonight you're not going to have to sleep. But after this week's over, then you'd have to move to another place, and you can't be mobile with all that you have to take with you. So your clothes, you basically keep only the clothes that you need for that day, and the rest you've got to stash somewhere because you don't have a place.
Right.
Yeah.
You can't leave it at the hotel that you're at because you're not staying at that hotel again tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And like you were saying, you can't start stocking up and saving money and,
Like
you know.
little things that people take for granted, like personal hygiene, deodorant, toothpaste, things that that if you live in a house and you see them on sale, you can buy a year's supply and boom, you don't have to worry about it.
You have to keep everything like a little travel size container of whatever that you
sometimes
need.
You can't eat, it's hard to keep
You
up
can't
with
buy
all
the
that.
big shampoo.
Like right
You
now,
can't-
I haven't put deodorant on it all week because my stuff's out
Great.
there. I can't put that all in her bag. So I got my shampoo, my cologne, everything's in my bag.
Well, you're lucky. You obviously took a shower because I can't tell.
Yeah, I took a shower. She's
And
next.
listen, so back to the Facebook thing.
Mhm.
Another friend, Dale Takio, locally, wants me to ask you a question, and he wants to know what are the 3 things that you think are most important that could get you on the path to help. Is it assistance with finding a job, or is it
No.
assistance with finding a house and getting a down payment on a
Getting-
place?
yes.
So what are those top 3 things
and
would you
and
say?
a fair monthly rate. Her and I, in our budget, could probably live very comfortable if we could pay $400 a month, and pushing it up to even $600, $650 with a little, just a little more, would be perfect for us. A lot of the places right now that I've called will only single occupancy at that kind of money.
Yeah.
They're expecting one person to pay $600, $650.
But you can't live alone.
No.
And you don't want to go to a shelter because he can't come to the shelter with you.
and they mistreat her in most of these shelters, or they
Yeah.
have.
Right.
She's very well
Because
known.
there's not much you can do if somebody wants to.
And
Be
if
mean to you or ignore
if I try
you
to
or-
stand up for myself, I'm the one that gets in trouble for being mean.
All right. So I wanted to answer that question for Dale. Give me the 3 things though, Orlando.
Mm-hmm.
Give me those 3 things. What are
for
they?
him?
Yeah.
A place to live at a reasonable price, a monthly rate, $400 to $650. I mean, like right now, then we don't have to be out panhandling so much, and I could get a job.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm at the point now, at my age, I'm looking for a career.
So wait, would one of the things be a little assistance taking care of her from time to time with someone you can trust?
If I have to work, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
If
So
I
maybe a
took it-
little assistance with you. So that would be number 2. What would be the 3rd thing that you think is most important to get your life back on track?
Like counseling or therapy to help me learn how to control my anger.
Because you get angry?
Yeah, I get angry real easily because of a lot of the way people were treated me in the past. I bring my past back to me too much.
Mhm.
And when I try to say something nice, I think I'm saying nice stuff to them, but it comes out wrong to them. They hear it different.
I've never seen you say
Well, they don't understand.
mean thing.
Well,
But-
when I first met her bad attitude, once she got mad, she would stay down for hours, all day.
Maybe it's
So
depression.
she's
Maybe
been around
it's
me. Well,
yeah, you're right. So
So
therapy,
she's
some
been around
kind of
me. She
counseling.
sees me get in a bad mood and brush it off within minutes, because I can't have a bad attitude and function in society. And I think a lot of these people have problems because their attitudes are bad. They're tired. They're sick of it. You know what I'm saying? They're
just giving up on the
yeah,
world.
on being,
Uh-huh.
So they've pretty much given up on a good life.
Okay, so the things that you're talking about is really affordable housing that you can both stay at together, and it should be first floor, unless it's got an elevator, because
course,
you
yes.
can't be hiking up a thing.
Mm-hmm.
So the second thing, number 3 was some therapy, some kind of counseling,
Yeah.
and number 2 was some maybe job assistance, or at least the opportunity, the ability to get
upgrade,
out there and
to
get a
upgrade,
job,
though.
and
You know,
not
I
have
can-
to
I
take
can
care
get
of
a
her.
job. I never
But you have
have a good job.
to take care of her all the time,
Right.
which has been one of your big problems.
Taking care of her and working.
Yeah. Okay.
And I've been wanting to find somewhere I can go get my GED also because I wasn't able to finish school.
Okay.
And a lot of people think it's because I dropped out, which I didn't.
But she's
moved-
going to need special education, though.
We moved to when I was with my mother, we moved to a county, I believe it was Osceola County, where you yourself had to pay for their TB shot and everything. The school board didn't help pay for it.
And a lot of her problem is she's been programmed her whole life that she's never going to be able to do anything. She's never going to be anything.
Well, you told me once that she has told you that she doesn't feel like she's like worthy of love a lot of times.
Exactly, yeah.
Which you absolutely are. I can tell you that right now. So don't let that thought ever cross your mind again. But that's sad that you would think that. And that the world has beaten you down so much that you think you're not lovable. Because that broke my heart when he told me that. I was on the phone yesterday. And when he told me that, I thought, man, that's just like the saddest thing.
A lot of times in my past, before I met him and began to really understand, people would say they would really care about me and that they would have feelings for me, but I always thought they were just saying that to be nice, that they didn't really mean it. They were saying that to make me feel better about myself.
Yeah. It can be confusing, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're almost to the hotel. Wish us luck. Okay. I got to admit, there's a lot of anxiety in all of this. It's a difficult life that they're leading. I've been following them around, but the good news is, right as the sun goes down and it really starts to get cold, guess where we're going? To a hotel room. And this one, because of some of the people that were generous and kind watching these Facebook posts during the day, got some people who don't want to be named but have put up the money not just for one night, but for 1 week. So their problem isn't solved, but there's at least a week-long solution here. We're gonna go inside this room, and it apparently will work out well for Melody. There she is, into the room. We started at one room, and now we're headed into the next one. Go on in, Mel. I'm gonna turn this around, see if I can shoot in the other direction here. Well, I can't, so I'm gonna do it this way. There's enough room for her to get in through the door here. And 2 beds?
Yeah, perfect.
1 for each of them. And enough room back there, right? For Melody to make her way through here. We can get the wheelchair all the way in here. Look at that. A low tub that's gonna be easy for you to get into, Mel. Melody can get in there, and another good thing, fridge in this room. And look at that, a microwave oven. So the beginnings of a kitchen, yeah, they can sit right there. Melody can get her wheelchair even underneath that. So what do you think, Melody? Is this here, I'm gonna close the door while I ask you about this here. Do you think this will do you for a week?
Definitely.
You think this will? Sorry about that last video cutting off there. I must have hit the button. But Melanie basically said there as we sat at the bed that she thought that would be great. We're gonna load her back up into the truck, and now we're going to get their stuff. As I said earlier in the day, their stuff is in bags. All their clothes, everything they own is in bags, and they hid it in the woods. So we're gonna go find it. Orlando, you hope it's still there?
Yeah.
You're gonna put that in the back of the pickup truck? We've been throwing this in the back of the pickup truck all day. But we're gonna go get their clothes. And if their clothes are still there, Melody, then what we're gonna do we are gonna go do what? Wash them. We're going to the laundromat. They have laundry services here, facilities, but we're gonna get all their clothes washed at one time. So, and the good thing is we're going to the laundromat across from Dexter's in Thornton Park, so we can go to the laundromat, we can throw everything into the laundry, and then we can go across the street and eat dinner, because I think we're all hungry at this point. It's been a tough day. It's been a long day, but it's been a good day, man.
Productive day.
Been a good day.
Very good.
All right. What was that?
Very good.
Very good day. Very good day.
I have not felt depressed at all today.
You haven't felt depressed at all today?
No.
Good. That's the way I want to keep it. All right. We'll see you on the next one. We're going to cross your fingers for us. Hopefully we can find all their stuff. Okay. So now one of the final steps, we're going to see if their stuff is still in the woods. Their clothes and things. Mel, you're going to stay here in the car for a minute?
Yes.
Melody's going to stay in the car, and Orlando and I are going to go in the woods and see if we can find the bags that he hid. All right, so Orlando, where'd you put them? All right, we're going around behind this kind of, I don't know, seems like it's abandoned building, practically abandoned, and we are going to see if their stuff
This place is a nightmare.
is in the woods. So this is one of the places that you used to stay. It's there. Look at that. There's their stuff.
One
We found it.
and
And two.
two.
Out here behind this abandoned old trashed hotel. We found their stuff, everybody. You got your clothes. We're gonna head to the laundromat, throw it in the back of the truck, and fortunately we made it literally just before sunrise or sunset. So I'm glad we did it. There you go. Close that up, Orlando, and let's go. Melody, good news. We found it. It's all there.
Crazy, there's still a few
All right.
clothes in that room and whatever.
All right, it's dark now. This has been a sunrise to sunset event so far. Orlando's now inside getting some laundry done. In the Coin Laundry here in Thornton Park. And as soon as he gets those loaded up, I'm gonna take him back across the street over there to Dexter's, where Melody's already inside, keeping warm. We're gonna get some dinner. And then run over here, change the laundry out, put it in the dryer, go back, finish dinner, and then I'm gonna take them over to the hotel. So I think it's been a successful day. They are kind of on their way, and I think this might get them to the point where they can get over the cycle of not having enough money to get through more than a week, because Melody, a lot of people have been asking, she does get disability. It's about $700, if you can believe it. And they use that to get hotel rooms. But right now, the place they're staying in is more like $1,200 a month if you did a whole month at this hotel. So they've got to find something cheaper, something that's more permanent. But at least right now, they're going to have enough to get them through probably at least a month there, since some people have kindly donated some money to help them get the first week started. But then there's a whole problem of getting Orlando a job, getting some medical attention for Melody. She wears that hat all day because the burns in her head get infected. She's got some infection. She's got some other issues that she really needs to have taken care of. So I think next week or so, I'm gonna start helping them work on finding a doctor. So I think I'll sign off at this point and get them back to their hotel, and I'll give more updates as time goes on. But I guess that's how the day ends. They're finally here. We found their clothes. We found them a place for at least a week, and maybe, I don't know, maybe that'll be all it takes to get the ball rolling for these two. But thanks for everybody for watching. It's been a good day. It's been an interesting day. I didn't know how it was going to end when it started, but this is how it ends, and I'm comfortable with the way that it ends. So I'll sign off and say goodbye. On behalf of Melody and Orlando, thank you very much for watching all day.